Hello, welcome back to another video on my channel. Now this is my fold down workbench. It's a great thing to have in a workshop because as long as I'm not using it as a junk storage station, I can fold it out over the items that I keep below it and fold it up out of the way when I'm not using it. The only problem I have with it is it is made from pine pallet wood, so it's not made from the greatest quality of wood, and over the last few years the wood has become warped and twisted, just like my mind, and it's also split. It's no longer flat or level and it's difficult to work on, so the idea is to build a new one of the similar design but using a sheet of 15mm plywood and some 3x2s. I want to make my new worktop the same size as the old one. I've got this piece of 15mm plywood here that I borrowed from work, and I ripped it to the correct size using the table saw. Then I dug out the miter saw, and at the same time as cutting the 2x3s to length, I gave my patio doors a good covering in dust. Because, well, I was too lazy to connect the dust collection vacuum to it. Now I'm going to make a framework up from these 3x2s that will support the worktop. The outside pieces will be connected with pocket holes, 2 in each end. And this pocket hole jig that I recently purchased from Maker Central, completely day and night difference to the Craig miniature one that I had. So I arranged the 3x2s in the positions I wanted them, came back with a sash clamp and lightly clamped them together, checked they were square of course. Now I don't have any pocket hole screws the correct length, so I'm just going to use some standard ones, and I fired them on in, working my way around as I went along. A little bit of fine adjustment for the middle support to make sure it's centre. Moving the clamp along and securing that one in. So I can place the new worktop up onto the bracket where the old one's secured to on the wall. Then I offer up this piano hinge that I've already cut down to size. And I can go about doing some pilot holes for the screws. I threw out the screws that came with this piano hinge because they were, well, made of cheese, and I put my own better quality ones in. Now with the worktop screwed to the hinge, I can clamp the framework into position. Notice the overhang that I've left myself either side. This is so I can get some clamps on there should I ever need to clamp anything up, which I will do. Now with the new workbench folded down and being propped up by an offcut of wood, I can go about drilling the holes, countersinking them and putting in the screws that will hold the framework to the worktop. Now the legs for this workbench I'm recycling from the old one. I've already cut them down to the correct length on the miter saw, and I'm using this 20mm forstner bit to drill down about the depth of the forstner bit, as I'll be securing the legs in place with some coach bolts. I then came back and drilled right through the legs with this 12mm wood bit. I've cut a chamfer on the top corner of the legs so that they can swing up and down, and between the two pieces of wood is a washer sat on the coach bolt, so when it's done up it will actually move. I just did the nut up so that the leg wasn't too loose but also wasn't too tight. I also fitted these in the bottom of the legs. As my garage floor isn't completely even, they will act as adjustable feet. So now that I've levelled up this workbench, the last thing to do is to clamp the legs in a true 90-degree position and then secure this board across the front of them. This will act as a stop block so that when I swing the legs out forward, they won't ever go past the true 90 degrees, and the table will therefore always be level and flat, and I won't need to adjust the feet every time I swing the legs out. So now all that's left to do is to try the workbench out. Lovely jubbly. If you like what you see here, please consider subscribing if you're already not a subscriber. Thanks for watching. Please comment and like, and I'll see you again in the next video.